Hello, everyone, and welcome to Grip Locked, Foundation Disc Golf Weekly Podcast. I'm Hunter, joined as always by Trevor and Konner. And before we get into today's episode, I want to take a moment to thank our sponsors. It's holiday season, and you don't know what to get as a gift or stocking stuffer? Well, today's sponsor, Manscaped, has the tools to guarantee you a win this year in this year's stocking stuffer or white elephant competition. Manscaped is a leader in men's below-the-waist grooming, and they have served more than 4 million men worldwide. If my math is correct, that's almost 8 million balls. I don't know why that's almost, but anyways, get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with the code GRIPLOCKED. Manscaped's best-selling product, the Performance Package 4.0, is at the top of every man's wish list this year. Inside, you'll find their lawnmower body trimmer, the best trimmer on the market for your balls, butt, and body, and the Weed Whacker ears and nose hair trimmer, plus a whole bunch of other goodies.
Yeah, let's not forget about their famous liquid formulations, the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Toner to maximize your ball hygiene routine.
And also the shampoo, body wash, and all that.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Yeah, you were just talking about it.
I just started using it, and I feel like my hair has just been taken to another level, so I could put a hat on it all day.
Now, these are our picks for Manscaped's surefire winning stocking stuffers. Number one, it's got to be the Manscaped 2-in-1 Shampoo and Conditioner, which we just talked about, just launching. Kill two birds with one stone.
Great product.
Number two, also just talked about, the Manscaped Cologne-infused body wash. Also, we just talked about that one.
Nice.
Smells unbelievable. Number three, the Shears 2.0 Luxury 4-piece nail kit. Little nail grooming for you. Number four, crop mops, ball wipes for your stanky balls. Those are nice to carry along. I used to keep them in my backpack because like midday, 2 o'clock, sometimes you just like been sitting down and you're like, you know what? I need to go freshen up.
You catch a little whiff.
And you're like, I need to go freshen up. And you walk to the bathroom, boop, 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 clean.
It's true.
Number five, the Manscaped Signature Cologne. That is also known as the Hunter Thomas scent now. I've dubbed that because I wear it pretty much every day. So these formulations are all vegan, cruelty-free, dye-free, sulfate-free, and paraben-free, so you know they're legit. Don't forget to get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with the code GRIPLOCKED and be the ballsiest gift giver ever this year with Manscaped. All right. Off-season movement.
Off-season, week number
16.
Something.
No,
wow.
That's not really.
Every day I think about like how crazy it's going to be whenever the season's like every season of disc golf, like now that like I'm like so invested in it, like really just like gets me really, I get more and more excited each year for like the season to start.
We're in the like put your head down and grind part of the off season.
I like the off season though because
it's fun. It's something different.
Fun. It's more like we can kind of like, you know, goof around, and then season starts. It's like business. Like we need to talk. The same 3 people came in the top 5 again.
No, it's not happening next year.
I think next year's gonna be crazy.
I
think
crazy.
So too.
You thought 2021 was crazy?
Who's grinding in the off season the most right now? That's the interesting question because like I don't feel like I see. I feel like back in the day,
the true grinders aren't posting.
Well, I hope that's the case because I hope that's the case because that means everybody's grinding. Because I don't really see like back in the day, I feel like so many people would like post on Instagram like their off season like. I'm putting in some frozen basement, like I'm doing this and that, and I don't feel like I see any of that on social media.
Yeah, because they're all too busy.
Well, no, mostly because everything that gets posted is like some graphic that was made for them.
No, it's because they're all too busy grinding.
I hope so.
Their
we're gonna
faces
we're
are
gonna
just
find
being
out.
ground
Listen,
off.
when the lights are on, we're gonna figure out who's been putting in the work.
Yeah. So some off-season movement. Matt Bell has announced that he is leaving DGA, which is interesting because at the beginning of the season in January he signed a 3-year extension. So, this is like the third player this offseason.
Does that tell you the DGA is about to kick the bucket?
No.
Okay.
The DGA makes too much money off baskets that they make. That keeps them afloat. Their discs don't really matter.
Do they make too much money though?
Not too much. I'm just saying like enough that
we don't really know.
It doesn't matter. I don't think it matters what their disc market does because they got their baskets. Yeah. It's kind of like Discraft with Ultimate back in the day. It didn't matter what their disc did because they were making enough money off Ultimate to stay afloat. But it brings the question up, and I asked this on Twitter kind of like, what's the point of players' contracts right now? Because everyone's leaving them early.
Yeah, it is very, that's actually a great point.
Like, it's like, we're in a contract agreement where, you know, you're obligated, just sign a 3-year extension, unless you don't feel like it.
Yeah, well, this is
then
like
do what you want to do.
I mean, this is kind of it's kind of a popular sports theme. Like, there is a lot of contracts basically it's a little different when you're talking about being signed by a team and being signed by a manufacturer for like a company, because like in a team, a lot of times contracts will get to like the third year or a certain year, and they'll have either basically like a player or a team. Some contracts will have an option, right? So like a team option where the team decides if they want to pick it up, and the player option where the player gets to decide if he wants to pick it up in that certain year of the contract. So it sounds like most disc golf contracts either have a buyout. So that like basically another manufacturer be like, hey, we'll buy out your contract so we can sign you. I don't even think that's happening most of the time. Because
that's what I'm saying. I've never heard of that in disc golf.
Right. So I think really what's happening is a lot of these contracts just have like an opt-out option. I guess like the 3 years.
I don't even know if they have an opt-out option.
I guess the 3 years is like, we are committed to paying you at this structure for 3 years, but you can leave if you want.
I think I think what it is right now, we kind of talked about
maybe
this
there's not enough
week.
pen to paper.
I think that there's not enough lawyer jargon.
Right.
Because there's not lawyers
so
in
they
it right
can just
now.
get out
So
super
it's basically
easy.
like I wrote a contract for Konner, and like I wouldn't know what to put in to protect ourselves.
It's a tough one.
And so like
too.
at the end of the year, Connor's like, hey, I really don't want to be here anymore. I've got this other option coming up, and like we talk over it, and I like look at the contract, and I'm like, there's nothing I can keep him here with.
Right.
Like if he leaves, what am I going to sue him for?
That's I feel like usually whenever there's contracts going between companies and players for any sport, a lot of times the like legalistics have to get involved because the players are getting taken advantage of. But I feel like in disc golf somehow the companies keep on getting the short end of the stick.
That's the thing though, is like, is this something where let's say that I'm the company and Trevor's the player, I get to year 2 and I'm like, hey, you know what? Get out.
Would
that
be able to happen?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. If like a player can do it right now,
I think a lot of it too though is like as a company, it's a lot easier to become the bad guy than the players. So let's like in that scenario.
That company would look like a bad guy.
So let's say this. Let's say you sign with a company. Let's say I'm Matt Bell and I was signed with DGA. This is obviously all hypothetical. Let's say you're signed with him and you signed a contract, but the contract. Let's say you signed a contract and the contract isn't super official, but DGA knows it's good enough that if we were to actually take this to court and enforce it, it would hold up. Like we would get our end of the bargain. How does that look to DGA? They sue their own player over a contract dispute.
Yeah.
Like that. So that's
the other thing
it's
too.
Like, not really worth the legal fees and the bad PR.
I put this out on Twitter because I was just like, what are the point of these disc golf contracts? And Zach Melton replied and was like, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. But then Steve Hill replied and he's like, well, one thing too is like a lot of contracts, he's like, it's changing, but still in disc golf, like a lot of contracts were just handshake contracts.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Where it's just like, hey, we'll offer you this. And you're like, okay. And we're like, sweet, there's the deal.
Man, if you're
to where
player,
like end of the year, you're like,
that comes down to the whole like player, like the mindset of like contracts are like super charitable towards players. Like, hey, we're helping you out. Whereas it's getting to the point where now these players kind of are figuring out their worth and are more like, no, I'm going to help you out by playing for your company. So like, this is what I want. Like, yeah, if you have got to be like protecting yourself as a player. Like you've got to make sure that and it's not even that hard. Like I don't think it's that difficult to get a little bit of legal help if you just need like somebody to review a contract for you. Like you got to make sure you're protected with those things.
I think that's something that we're gonna start seeing.
Oh, it's for sure. I mean,
because like if I'm a company now
the bigger deals,
and I'm seeing Eric Oakley leave early, I'm seeing Matt Bell leave early. In previous year, I'm seeing Paige Pierce leave early. I'm looking at it and I'm like, I need to make sure when I write this contract up that we're not going to get, unless I put it as an option, I'm not just going to be surprised when so-and-so player calls me up and is like, hey, I want to leave early.
How many disc golf companies are at the point where they're like, yeah, we need to have a lawyer on retainer. Yeah. It's probably just not a thought. It's gotten to that point. Like if I'm like a Discraft and I'm talking and I'm dealing with $10 million contracts, I'm having a legal.
Surely that one was written by a lawyer. I would hope so. I'd be shocked.
I would hope so.
I'd be shocked. Now with Matt Bell, where do we think he's going? I actually haven't heard any rumors in regards to where Matt Bell's going.
Matt Bell,
he's a decent player.
Decent.
Nothing like.
I think Matt Bell is probably good enough that I could see him landing at any company. I just don't know if it's going to be for like. I think he's a big enough name that he could land at like an Innova or whatever. But I just don't know if it's going to be for a lot of money.
Yeah.
So like. It's probably like one of those things where if he were to go to a smaller company, he's probably going to get more bang for his buck.
That's why his DGA deal made sense to me.
Right.
Because DGA, like he was like the biggest player at DGA.
Right. I think but DGA is just like a little bit too small. I think. Like, I think I could see him. I could see him with like
Castoplast.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't be bad. I could see him with Latitude maybe.
He used to be there.
Right. I could see him go. I could see him there. Prodigy. I could see they just lost Matty O.
Yeah, on debate night I was talking about
that's probably
it,
my guess.
And I was like, Matt Bell is known for his putting. So I could definitely see EV7 being in the conversation. I just don't think.
I bet that's what it is.
I don't think that's a good move for him. If it is EV7 mixed bag, just because I think that Drew Gibson and Eric Oakley will do well with a mixed bag because their personal branding is so good.
Yeah.
Matt Bell doesn't really have like a great personal branding as far as I've seen.
Right.
I think that Matt Bell's the type of player where he needs a company's marketing team to help push him and market him.
Honestly, with all the EV7 rumors that swirl around these days, I bet EV7 that honestly makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. If it's not EV7,
that's such a no-brainer. Like, if you're EV7, like, oh, who should we sign? Well, let's go after the guy who's the best putter. Like that.
Yeah.
It makes sense. We make putters.
Yeah. So I could definitely see like an EV7 mixed bag type deal. I don't think that's the best thing for Matt Bell, but I could see that happening. Other than that, I agree. Like going back to Trilogy or Prodigy, I think the two most likelies beyond.
I'm sure.
That.
I mean, here's the thing: if he left DGA, it more than likely means there was an offer on the table.
Especially
for him.
leave it early.
So
I did also say on debate night,
Let's see if Prodigy leaks it.
I don't think
before anybody else can.
I don't think this is going to happen, and I don't like this isn't a prediction. I would just personally enjoy seeing this is if he went to Gateway.
I knew you were going to say that. I
would just enjoy that.
I would
want
love
to see
seeing a Gateway on tour.
I want to see a pro throwing full Gateway.
Yes.
Because like their putters are great, the Wizard, stuff like that. But like once you get beyond putters, like that's uncharted territory.
I mean, I have some predictions about certain people that might go to Gateway, but yeah, that.
Well, that sounds like a topic.
Yeah. Okay.
Hit us with it.
Unconfirmed sources. I can't be dropping stuff.
Trevor's got sources now.
Wow.
Speaking of unconformed sources, unconformed. Yeah, my sources just don't conform to the standards of you kinds. The frick that even come from?
I don't even know what that was.
I was trying to say like you kinds of people talking to Konner, but I realized like no one can see Konner.
What do you mean by you kinds of people?
That was the whole joke.
He's got red hair, man.
You coming after gingers right now?
Hey man, you take that how you want. There's a rumor picking up steam.
This guy turned like a Western villain all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
What's picking up steam?
What's that Michael Scott line?
Oh no.
Don't know. Don't say it. Go on.
Okay. There's a Ricky rumor picking up steam because we've heard a lot, and this part's confirmed that Dynamic Disc does have a big signing coming. That's been confirmed by Eric McCabe.
They've been saying that
players.
for like 4 years.
Well, they seem very confident this time.
They do.
That has been like looming on of just like who is that going to be? I have heard a few different things behind the scenes. I'm not going to say those, but there's this Ricky rumor that's picking up a lot of steam that Ricky is leaving Innova this year and going to Dynamic Discs. And that has been picked up. I've been DM'd that 3 or 4 different times from different people saying like, hey, it's not confirmed yet, but just like this is happening. And then I've seen it on some like Facebook comments of people like, hey, this is happening. I think it's basically like 1 or 2 people were like, oh my gosh, this is happening. And like then posted it. And then like people were like, oh my word, I heard this is happening. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's the type thing though that like, would it shock me? Yes and no, but not really.
No to the dollar sign point because I know they can pay him more. I know they can pay him well and more than he's probably making in Innova. Yes, in some sense. I don't know if he doesn't like fit in with Dynamic maybe, but I don't know what that really means.
Well,
but also he can throw the mold if he plays for Trilogy. He can throw the molds that he threw with Latitude that won him 2 world titles.
Yeah. Well, I could see kind of what's happening that started this rumor is Ricky hearing the deal that Dynamic Disc would offer him to try to use as a negotiating chip for Innova. Yeah. And if someone that's a part of that initial deal offering leaks it a little bit, people start freaking out. Well, I could see that being the situation we're sitting in right now, but I'm not going to say Ricky's 100% not going to Dynamic because like that is something I have heard different things with his contract and stuff like that I know Dynamic would offer him more than he's making right now.
If we know anything about Innova, it's that they don't like being put in that situation because that's kind of what happened with Paul.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, match this deal. They're no. Aren't we good enough for you? See you later.
So I wouldn't be shocked if I like opened up my Instagram tomorrow or right now and saw Ricky posting he's leaving Innova.
That, you know what the crazy, okay, so let's say if you're Dynamic Discs and let's say today, pen goes to paper, you've just signed Ricky Wysocki. Huge deal. We're talking, let's just say it's more per year than Paul gets. Let's say it's like a 6-year deal and they pay him like $1.5 million a year, which is just ridiculous. It's not going to happen. But if they did, when do you announce it? When and how do you announce it? Because you have up until the season starts. Like when do you think you should do it now as soon as possible, or do you wait? Build up some supply of Ricky.
I think you let Ricky right now or over the next week or two announce, "Hey, I'm leaving Innova. Thank you so much,"
and let the
to generate the speculation start building
like
of like where is he going? Where is he going? And then like that's what Paul did.
Yeah,
and then in a few weeks. Personally, I don't like the idea of announcing and then you can't run anything till January 1st. And so like you announce December 20th.
Right.
We just signed Ricky, but you can't sell anything yet.
Yeah.
So I'm in the train of thought of January 1st, if that's when you have freedom to sell stuff, that's when you announce, because like think how much more impact it's going to have if like you announce we just signed Ricky Wysocki. You can go ahead and pick up a commemorative harp for Ricky being back on the team.
Oh my gosh, Ricky throwing harps again.
Like that's like, or
daggers.
Did you miss your Ricky daggers? They're back. Limited Ricky Wysocki collection available on our site for the next week, and you're gonna move so much versus you hit the hype December 20th. Ricky's back on Dynamic, or Ricky's back to Trilogy. Everyone's excited, and then January 1st, 11 days later, you release products. 11 days of hype died down.
Here's the crazy thing. If Ricky leaves Innova, pending that they don't sign anybody big, that means that the T-Bird and Destroyer are no-name discs.
No, they'd give them to someone.
Let that hit you.
Who are they
giving that to?
Nate Sexton, Greg Barsby. Someone's getting it.
Gosh.
No one's sitting there without that. Destroyer is going to someone. Big Germ.
No way. Okay, come on.
Now. He's a U.S. champ.
He is.
Someone's getting that Destroyer.
Nobody who's ever been on that Destroyer.
If I see a Greg Barsby Star Destroyer, I think I might cry, and not in a good way.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
I'm just saying
that is such a weird thought to like, because
they're
like
not leaving the Destroyer.
The only players that have ever been on the T-Bird or Destroyer, we're talking Paul was on the T-Bird
Avery
3,
Jenkins.
right? Paul, Avery Jenkins. I mean,
Climo.
I guess Avery is a bit of the outlier there, but like still like good. I mean. Yeah, when you think about the fact that they gave it to Avery Jenkins.
Yeah.
But the problem is he was the first one to be on the Destroyer. So it's not like, but now the standard has kind of been set. We had Paul on there and now Ricky, like two of the best players of our generation, basically. I could, yeah.
It would go to Sexton.
It would go to Sexton. He would get the
Sexton even throw Destroyers.
Yeah.
He does throw them.
He would get the Destroyer, but probably not the T-Bird 3 because I don't think he even throws that. That one maybe goes to Barsby, I guess, or Heimberg if he throws
Heimberg won't get a disc. He has to have a major. Innova does not give discs to people without majors.
You're right. They are very, man, I just thought of that question just now, and like imagine if like there's like a little spacing where there's like no name Destroyers.
That would be sick.
I don't think that there wouldn't be.
It would just look foreign.
The best name would be Heimberg, but you're right. He doesn't. He's not,
Heimberg
by Innova standard, he's not qualified.
Well, Sexton's like their guy.
Yeah, Sexton would be
because Sexton really, I guess all he has is like a Firefly and the X-Cow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
his
like,
name's already on.
Sexton would 100% get the Destroyer, and I think
I could see Jerem getting the T-Bird 3. Does Jerem even have a stock disc right now?
No, I mean all he has is the fake U.S. title. That's not nice. But
it's just interesting that Sexton. It's just interesting that Sexton has the X-Cal with just a U.S. title, and Big Germ doesn't have anything with just a U.S. title.
Maybe because
that's an interesting one.
That is interesting.
Sexton's a lot better, perhaps. Maybe because I'm trying to think of what.
If I'm Germ, I'm sitting there going,
I'm
wait a
trying
minute.
to think of what Germ throws, because he has a Thunderbird. He has a
Tour Series Thunderbird.
Right, he doesn't have a stock.
That's like the
one.
Sexton Firebird.
Well, yeah, because
Sexton has the stock X-Cal.
Yeah, he does.
Ricky also has the Invictus.
Yes. That one wouldn't be as weird though because it's a new mold.
It's a newer mold, yeah.
Man, I'm trying to because like I just looked at germs in the bag, and it was
He throws wraiths.
yeah, Climo's
still on the Wraith.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if we were talking about what he should go on.
I'm just surprised he doesn't have a stock disc.
Well, the U.S. Title thing being good enough to get you on a disc was new when Sexton.
Yeah,
got
Sexton's
on there.
the first one, but I'm just saying like
I mean, I think it's just as impressive.
That standard,
so I don't have a
but I guess
problem.
if that's the standard, then why isn't Brinster on a disc?
Right. They gave him the Brinster T-Bird.
But it's Tour Series.
Right. They gave him that after winning, or no, I think they gave him that before he won his U.S. title. I don't know. It's great. That
And he had the Destroyer too, but that was also Tour Series.
that'd be
Yeah.
Well, I guess this is the second question then, because this is now we're just like, who the heck does Innova have? Basically, is what we're gotten to. Is so who do they pursue if they lose Ricky?
Heimberg. Oh, who do they take? Like who do they sign on?
Yeah, who do they try to get
Ooh.
to fill the like you? They're really
there's
only
not exactly world champions on the market right now
no.
because they have Barsby. Paul's locked in. You're not.
They're
moving
gonna have
Paul.
to bring Doss back from the
Ricky
dead. Nate
locked
Doss.
in. Who is another current current player that's a world champion?
How far back do you have to go, Barry?
I mean, they would have.
He's
well,
already
I'm
there.
saying like in the tour. Ricky's a world champ. Paul's a world champ.
McCabe.
Conrad.
Eric
They
Mc-
could try to
James-
sneak Conrad back.
Yeah, it would have to be.
I don't
That's
think
not
that's
gonna
Conrad's
happen.
not going
That's
back.
not going to happen.
happening.
I think Kevin Jones would probably be the best player for him to go after.
Didn't he just
Yeah.
sign?
Yeah, he just signed.
Yeah,
oh,
well,
wait.
we know that doesn't mean anything.
I don't know if that's
though.
public information, but he should still be with Prodigy.
I don't even know any of his details. I'm speculating.
Doesn't matter what their contract is. We know that doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's no the only current playing touring world champions are Ricky, Paul, James Conrad, and Greg Barsby. I mean, unless I'm an idiot looking at this list,
I think they need to get.
they would need to
Dickerson.
go young. They would need to go young.
I think they need to get Dickerson.
I don't know. Dickerson would be a tough one.
It would be really great if they could poach Hammers.
Hammers would be a great sign.
If they could poach him, but
Hammers would be a great sign.
that's
his contract's up this year,
right.
I believe.
I think it is. But
We just haven't heard
We
yet.
just all assume that he's going to sign big with Discraft because I'm sure he's got a lot of brand loyalty.
Hammers would be a great one. I mean, Ricky's got to leave first for any of that to even matter.
That is really going to stir things up.
If Ricky left, then yeah, it would be interesting. I mean, they do at least still have Evelina and Henna, so their FPO is kind of locked down. Assuming they don't.
That is something they do have going for them.
But yeah. So there you go. Let's jump into the fan favorite segment of Trevor's Trivia. What do you got, Trevor?
Okay, so this game, it's kind of just a shorter one, but I think a very interesting one. It's kind of just more of like our actual question format.
Yeah.
This was kind of inspired by, you ever see those things on social media where they'll be like, it's like kind of like those like crazy timeline things where they're like, they like give you like two things that happened
At
like,
the same time.
and you're like, you think that one happened way before the other.
Yeah.
Like they're
but
like,
they've happened very
like,
close.
did you know that so-and-so was still alive when like the television was invented? And you're like, huh? Like that doesn't make any sense. So like, I was like, that would be an interesting disc golf thing. So this is a disc golf timeline game. And the name of the game is What Happened First. So I've got three
The chicken or
different
the egg?
like little
But you should've named it.
comparisons. Darn. I've got three like little scenarios here that I'll ask you. If you don't know, then I'll give Konner a chance. If he has like definitive information, he can help you out.
So we're on the same team, Connor.
Yeah, you're
Heck
working
yeah.
together today.
I like that.
So this is the first timeline, and I guess you get bonus points if you can name the years that the things happened.
Bonus points. I'm always there for
So
bonus points.
what happened first? What happened first? Paul wins his first A tier, or Nico wins his first U.S. title. Which happened first?
Nico, I gotta figure out Nico's titles. Nico only has one U.S. title,
Yeah,
2009.
I didn't say he won more than one. I just say he won his first. And if he wins another one, he'd win his second.
It was 2009, wasn't it? Yeah, 2009. I forget Nico has a U.S. title a lot.
Put some respect on his name. He's the number one player in the world.
He was back in like 2012. So I'm going to say that Nico's U.S. title happened first.
That's your final answer.
Yes.
That is correct. Paul's first A tier was in 2010.
Yeah.
Good job, Hunter.
Good job.
I think Paul started playing disc golf PDGA-wise in 2009, and he was still in AM because he played 2009 AM Worlds.
No, I think it was like 07, but
I thought he played 2009 AM Worlds.
yeah, but he was registered as a PDGA member.
I'm just saying, like, he was playing as an AM in 2009.
Yes,
And that's what I think was. I'm gonna verify that, but I think
that's when he came third.
2005 is when he first registered. No, he was playing Open. He was playing Open. He came second to the Carolina Clash in A tier in 2009.
Yeah, I looked up his career wins to figure it out. All right, next scenario. This one's gonna be a little bit tougher, I think. Ken Climo reaches his career highest rating he's ever had in his career, or Feldberg wins his first and only world title.
Now, Feldberg won 2008. That's when Feldberg won. So I'm going to say, I know that ratings inflate. So I know
That's why this is a tough one.
I know Climo's rating went up as he got worse.
I know Hunter's a big ratings inflation guy. He knows
but
about
I'm going
it.
to say that Climo's rating peaked in 2007, which is first.
So you're correct, but Climo's rating actually peaked in 2002. It was actually considerably earlier at 1044.
I couldn't remember how late Climo's career goes.
It's tricky because he was still in the top 10 in the world, I believe, until 2013.
Yeah.
But he was 1044 rated. He hit it in 2002 and then again in 2003. But that is correct. All right, 2 for 2. Last one.
2 for.
Good job, Hunter.
Thank you, man.
All right, what happened first? Paige Pierce accepts cash for the first time,
Oh.
or Des Redding wins her 4th U.S. women's title?
U.S. women's.
These are hard.
That's an interesting one because that would make it a lot later than her worlds, I believe. So I'm going to say that Paige Pierce accepted cash first.
That is correct.
Heck
Wow.
yeah.
Well done. 3 for 3. Clap it up for Hunter. Good job.
Good
It
job,
was
Hunter.
09 was when she accepted cash, and Des Redding won her 4th U.S. women's title in 2012. Well done.
Wow.
And now
2012.
clap it up for Trevor. That was a good game, Trevor.
was a great
Thank
game.
you, man.
That was a good job.
Thank you.
I would have got all of them wrong.
Yeah, I was impressed. Hunter is pretty good with the disc golf history.
He's pretty good with it.
He's pretty good with it, man.
What can I say?
Just to
Very
let you
smart.
guys know, if you're listening in the car, no, your car is not malfunctioning. There is quite the bit of construction
They're
going
still building
on
a pizza shop
behind
next
that
to us.
wall.
Once they're done, we'll just have the issue that it smells like pizza all the
Are
time.
they really building a pizza shop
It's
there?
the sourdough truck.
Oh my
The sourdough pizza company's
gosh,
moving over
that's
here.
It's
amazing.
trouble is what that
Yeah,
is.
it's
We're going to have to strike a deal with them, honestly.
And if he is bananas as they say.
What?
I listened to Rap God this morning. It's trouble, big trouble. And if he's as bananas as they say.
Okay, you're like 2 for 2 on just saying very weird things
You know,
today.
on that topic, I've got something that I would like to share with you guys.
Oh,
I've
okay.
got a surprise for you guys.
Oh, heck yeah.
okay.
Would you like to hear it now?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Well, I was just, working yesterday. You guys were there. And I get a DM from a good friend of mine. And by a good friend of mine, I mean, he was my dark horse pick at one point.
Okay.
Best friend, some would
Best
say.
friends.
Yeah, I didn't know him before that, but Andrew Wallen.
Yeah, I
Does
remember.
that name ring a bell?
Yeah, it rings a bell.
He did not win me that week.
He didn't win you over.
He didn't win me. He did not win me over.
No, he won him over. He didn't
You
win
just
him
didn't
the dark
win
horse.
the dark
Yes.
horse. Okay.
And then he also is responsible for starting this whole gag that we have where you guys say that I owe you pizza. You guys remember that?
I do remember that because you do owe us pizza. That wasn't a gag.
And
that
for
was,
you guys that don't know, what happened was he said, sorry for not winning or whatever. And then he said, what's your Venmo? I'd like to send you money so you and the guys can get pizza. And then I told him, don't worry about it. Like, you don't have to buy us pizza, but I appreciate it though. Like,
yeah, and then we got mad at you for turning down free pizza.
yeah, and so somehow that turned
the
into me
heck?
owing them pizza. Well, he said that he just caught up on all the Grip Locked episodes. First of all, we can congratulate his daughter just turned 1.
Oh,
That's cool.
Congratulations.
So he said that it's been crazy, but he just started catching back up on the Grip Locked episodes and thought it was hilarious that whole thing started happening. And so he said, please let me send you money for the guys
Connor, you know what you have
to
to
get
do.
pizza. So I did accept it.
Heck yes, we're getting pizza
We're
today.
getting
And
pizza
so
today.
today
It's
we are
a
gonna
perfect
get,
day for it too because
It's
we got
a great
film.
pizza day.
And I will tell you, this guy didn't send me like $20. He sent me like enough money for a lot of pizza.
Oh, frick.
So like we're gonna have to
send Andrew Wall.
pizza.
We're gonna send Andrew Wall on something.
Andrew, you're our hero.
Yeah. Andrew, something's coming your way.
Big shout out to Andrew.
We'll send him pizza.
We'll
send him a slice of pizza.
I did tell him that like, oh, this is great. I'll order it like for it to be delivered during Grip Locked, and I'll just get up in the middle of Grip Locked and be like, oh, there's something here, and then I go bring it there. And then I remember that we record Grip Locked at like 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So
that'd be pretty rude. I'm gonna
sorry, Andrew.
I'm gonna make a note
that,
to make sure.
Thank
we
you so
take
much.
care
Seriously.
Of you.
What'd you say?
So now
I said I'm gonna make a note to make sure we take care of it.
Yes.
Should I redeem the blizzard from Konner today?
Oh man, just 2 for 1.
So I get a blizzard and a pizza. This is a great day for pizza. Trevor and I even went to the gym this morning. We already worked it off.
Oh man, don't even get into that yet.
Nah, we'll get that. We'll save that for the Bogey Bro banter. What I will get off is
3 for 3 now. You're 3 for 3. Why are you the way you are right now?
Why did that come to your head to say?
Just go to the next
like
topic.
Why would you do that?
I don't know, man.
I think you've lost your entire filter.
I've been up since 4:45 this morning.
No human person speaks like that.
Well, I do.
What's
Kickstarter.
Okay, Kickstarter. What do you have to say about it?
I love talking about disc golf Kickstarters.
And so Loft Discs burst onto the scene with the hydrogen putter a while ago.
Hydrogen Loft.
They're back on Kickstarter for
The
their
liquid hydrogen putter.
for their driver, a 14-speed rounded rim driver. They're calling it.
Adds up.
The title is the Boreum Next Generation Disc Golf Driver.
It's got to be Boreum.
Boreum.
Yeah.
Sure. It's an element. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah,
It's boring.
The number's going up.
for sure.
So they have raised $64,236 of their $11,000 goal.
Let's mention that we checked it how long ago? Probably
Less than an hour
Less
ago.
than an hour, and it was at 62,000.
Something like that.
So it's just going up
It's
by
just
the hour.
it's just cranking, and
The
we're
crazy
adding to
thing-
the problem by bringing this up right now. But
The
it's
crazy
fine.
thing is, I don't really remember people being super impressed with the hydrogen putter.
no.
No, but that's
the
the
Loft.
thing.
No.
So disc golf. Let me speak to the disc golfers at home right now.
Speak to him.
Speak to him.
Right here. Look right
I'm
there.
looking right there. If you see a product on Kickstarter that is a disc golf product, you're not obligated to back it. Like you don't have to.
They want to,
Whatever,
man.
you scumbag.
I
dude,
know
you're
they
a piece
want
of
to.
garbage, dude.
But anytime a disc golf Kickstarter happens, it's like, oh my gosh, it's filled. Oh my gosh.
I don't think that's a bad thing though. That's like disc golf community that like loves backing.
No, it's a
people's
great
inventions.
thing. It's a great thing the first time. But this is an issue in my head.
No, see, I think this one is less criminal. So their last one,
They're already an established company selling discs, profiting off those selling discs, and then they're like, hey, let's go back to our audience that funded us the first time. And now that we're an established company,
It is true.
It would be like if we were like, hey, we want to drop a winner line.
Let's do it.
Let's
as
do a Kickstarter. Like at the frick?
That's not really how business works.
I
yeah.
will-
No, like you're an established business now.
I'll give them slight credit here, partial credit, because the first one, it was like, this is a scam because the only thing they did was made the putter a 1 speed, which that's literally just a number. It has nothing to do with anything. It's like anybody can make any disc and give it a number of speed. This one, they've actually innovated something. They're making the whole thing is the bottom of the rim, so that part that can sometimes be sharp or have flashing or whatever, they've rounded that. Something I've never seen before, and their whole thing is, I guess they've got all
It's
these like
too-
numbers to try and back it up. But this is a Kickstarter. This is what Kickstarter should be because they've invented.
I would
something.
agree with you if this was their first disc.
Right. But I'm giving them
This
partial
is
credit.
the
They
disc.
get 0.5
The disc
points.
design, sure, love it. We're trying new things.
I
all
want to.
for it.
I want to
wanna
try
throw
it. We all want to try it.
I'm
Join
all
the
for it.
Kickstarter right now on air.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Do it.
No,
Come
I think
on.
you should.
Do it,
Yeah,
Hunter.
I will wait until it's because it's already been
Yeah,
funded.
that's my thing. Is like
I'll wait
just,
till it comes out.
I'll just wait till somebody.
watch
at the
some people
local
throw
club.
it. And people are like, "Oh, this thing sucks. I'm not going to buy it." Then, or I'll just like, you know what? I'll just go to their website right now, and I bet I can buy a hydrogen putter.
Let's see. Put it to the test, man.
Do it. Buy one.
I'm going to. I'm going to put it to the test.
Do it. You won't.
Loft Discs.
Yeah, man. Just put it to the test. Because
Go to their website. Visit our web shop.
I gotta say the whole rounded
and
bottom thing.
there they are.
Doesn't sound
Hydrogen
That does
for
not
days.
sound nice to me.
Why?
That sounds like it's gonna slip right out of my
Right.
hand.
So that would be the only, and on a 14-speed driver when it's already
Yeah.
kind of narrow. So that's the question. But if it does work,
So what they're claiming is that it goes farther.
yeah, they've got
This,
numbers.
Yeah. So basically,
How?
they're,
It doesn't even have any gyro on it.
no, dude.
Yeah,
let me
man, I
explain.
don't see any gyro.
Barium can
Borium.
Boreum can increase your distance compared to other distance drivers with similar stability. We've compared the Boreum to similar drivers, but with sharp rim, the fastest disc on the market, and the distance gained at ideal conditions are shown in the table below for different arm speeds. So let me just read you some of these. So thrown at 55 miles an hour with a 5-degree hyzer angle, the
So they
Boreum,
really tested it.
Boreum goes 320
Yeah.
feet versus the max distance of the sharp rim driver is 306
Their
feet.
numbers are very like
Wait, what was the difference?
like 20
13
feet.
feet
13
gain.
feet.
Oh.
But as it goes up, so now let's get to a 65-mile-an-hour throw, which is about what I could throw.
Yeah.
That's like a
I'm
peak.
just kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, I did throw 114 miles an hour.
That's true. You
And
did do that.
so everyone can just hush up.
That
No,
is true.
65 I feel like is like
Yeah.
my range.
Because you've thrown what, like 69, 70?
Well, with a broken radar.
I'm throwing
I'm
like 61,
if I'm in the
62.
60s, I'm
Okay.
happy. So like 60,
All right.
60 to 65 range.
So
is
not out
there.
of range.
65 would be a
throw-
crush.
65
Max
is my
throw
crush.
from Hunter.
Yeah, so it says that
throw.
on a 15 degree of hyzer angle, max distance is 452 feet with a sharp rim driver. 17 degree hyzer angle from the boreum, 481 feet, increase of 29 feet of distance. Then you gas it up to 80 miles an hour. So now Simon's
Which is
throwing
who?
it.
Simon? Okay.
36 degrees of hyzer angle on the sharp rim driver. Which I want to know who they got to
Yeah,
throw
how
this
did they
at
get
80 miles
somebody
an
to do
hour.
that?
Here's
Well, I'm not done with stats,
go ahead,
man.
Go ahead, read it.
36 degrees hyzer
Read it.
angle, 690 feet max distance. And then the boreum with 43 degree hyzer angle, so slightly more hyzer angle, 739 feet max
now we're
distance.
talking
So
about,
now we're
like-
talking like 50 feet. So
So-
basically, the faster it's thrown, the farther it'll go beyond a normal
The whole
disc,
question is
the
how
claim.
are they measuring this, right? Because like they have to somehow get the angle of hyzer that was thrown, which I'm not saying this is impossible to do all this. And then like my other question is, are they just measuring like the first couple and then just using the math to get those higher speeds? Like, well, when it goes up 5 miles an hour, we saw that it went up this much in distance. So that
I
means it
wouldn't
just-
say that just because they say that he increased the hyzer angle.
Yeah, the hyzer
for the
angle
fa-
changed.
Right,
faster
right.
one.
So I'm guessing they had somebody throwing it, but like who? Like there's not many people out there that
No
can throw
way.
80 miles an hour. Like that, there's like, and as far as
Yeah,
I
I don't
know,
know.
I will say,
I want to see the testing process.
I do kind of. I mean, I like
It
all those
also-
numbers. It converses me a little bit more. I would
Well,
say.
this is going to be a big convincing point for you.
I'm excited about it.
Pain-free grenades.
Wow.
That's one of their marketing points. It's
They-
genius.
Wow.
Maybe that's the whole thing. They need to be selling that as just a grenade disc. 'Cause
Finally.
Yeah.
But they also
Oof.
have like
All those
simulated.
grenades I
They also
throw.
have simulated airflow charts of like how it decreases drag by allowing the air
Yeah.
that makes sense.
and stuff
It
like
makes
that.
sense that it decreases drag.
Yeah.
It actually makes a lot of sense. I wonder if this thing is like actually revolutionary.
Well,
you know
when
what?
I see the disc though, like the bottom of it, I hate it. I don't.
Can I
want
see it?
because it doesn't look typical.
Well, no, it's just like it,
Send me the
it
link.
looks uncomfortable to me.
I'll just look it up.
I
can-
feel like
can
I
look it
felt
up.
a disc that's like this before.
I will say that the
Like if-
idea that air,
No, the
like, has-
idea behind it and the science, it all makes sense.
because like I love when people try to innovate the disc because nobody really does. So like, I'm a big fan of stuff like this. I'm just curious. I think it really just comes down to are you able to keep the same grip on it? Really?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's
If
like,
you
will it
can,
slip
then
out?
like I feel like it might just feel weird, but and also what does that look like when you have a disc that isn't a driver? Like imagine that on a mid range where it's more
I feel
of a
like
vertical.
I'd feel best. This would feel best in my hand as like a putter or something like a fan grip.
Right. Interesting. Very interesting.
But regardless, the disc idea, love it. Rounded rim driver. We're trying new things. All for it. Fully
Also,
support
what a
it.
great idea to name
I
your
just-
disc after elements. There's so many out there and they all have cool names.
I just hate
Can't wait for
that
the
we're
potassium.
going. I just hate that we're going back to Kickstarter as just an established company. Like imagine if Innova was like,
Yeah.
hey, we want to bring the AVR X3 to the market. Kickstarter.
Well, it's okay. That's a little bit steep of a comparison.
I know it is, but
They're
still
not
like.
Innova.
But they raised over $200,000 for the hydrogen loft.
It does make you wonder how much cash are they sitting on that they could have used to like,
That's what I'm saying. They
the
raised
risk.
$200,000 with their first
But
Kickstarter.
it is kind of at the same deal.
And now they've been selling
It's kind of just like supply and
those.
demand, though. Like if at the end of the day, they can put whatever they want on Kickstarter, and people have to want to buy it.
I get that, and I think that's what's making me upset. Is that 740 people have pledged $64,297 now, with
What are-
32 days to
what are
go.
the
Like they're
higher
gonna get to
packages-
$100-some thousand. $100. Like they're
what
going
do
to
the
get
higher
there.
packages get you? What are the packages?
I mean, this might as well have been an ad read
I know.
for this.
It's fascinating though.
If you pledge, they're all in euros. If you pledge 48 euros or more, you get the tryout pack, which is 2 of them.
so you have to. You're
67
gonna have to spend
euros.
like over $50.
67 euros, you get 3 of them.
That's crazy.
100 euros, you get 5 of them. 195 euros, you get 10 of them. 365 euros, you get 20 of them.
So no matter what, you're spending at least $50.
850 of them, you get 50.
That's the craziest part to me. 50
Well, I mean,
of them?
you can
And how many
pledge
of these are
without
they
a reward.
making? Right, but how many people?
What's
are doing
the average here?
that? I feel like they're getting so many pledges because people want the disc.
Yeah.
Like that's the only reason. Because like has there ever been? I'm trying to think if there's a disc like that out there with like a more rounded rim.
So the average pledge is €87.
Yeah, so a little bit more than.
So the average people are pledging
1 or 2
in between in between the 3 and 5 packages.
Just an update. I did look at the pictures, and that disc would come out of my hand early on every single throw.
It definitely would be.
I
the
feel
concern.
like for some reason something about my hand tells me I've felt this before.
I almost think of like an H, like the old H5, but they're not quite like that either. Though they're just running on the other side.
Yeah, it's because we're talking about the bottom, the part. Yeah, I know.
I'm
trying to explain to
think,
them.
Oh yeah,
like
sorry.
the rim, the like bottom
the
part.
part
It's not
that's
the
gonna be
outer
on-
edge.
yeah.
It's
The part that touches your finger whenever you curl around.
I don't know what it is. I feel like I've felt this before.
I'm with you. I feel like I've felt.
It's got to be a
similar.
Prodigy disc.
It does feel Prodigy.
Prodigy X series maybe.
What?
I know I have felt this before.
It's either a Prodigy disc or like a silly brand.
Why do I feel like it's kind of like the OG like Prodigy H4s and H5s?
That's exactly what I just said. I said the original H5.
Yeah, I'm also kind of feeling.
Hold up. Are we just selling X5s or X1s on here?
No, I don't think. I think that's just. I think we're just thinking about the flat part of the rim on those, but not the actual like end. I don't think they're rounded.
I've felt a bottom of a disc be rounded.
We're gonna have to go back. We're gonna have
It
to
does.
Look around the warehouse.
It just seems so familiar to me.
It really seems like an old H5.
Especially when okay, let's just look up the Prodigy H5.
Do you have an H5 still, Hunter?
Me, no.
I think you gave.
I had one, but my wife
So
lost
these
it.
are the new H5s.
Nice.
Yeah.
We don't want the new ones. They're all sharp.
They're going with the exact opposite route.
That is not what you need to look at, Hunter.
No, that's not it. But like they don't have. This isn't the H5 V2, so this is the only H5 that's ever existed.
No. Oh.
H4.
Maybe.
Yeah, because the new ones are H4 V2, so you need to look up like
an OG H4. I know that, and I used to throw it a lot for the little trick shots.
You need to find just an old H4.
This is a
what are we
witch
doing?
hunt.
Yeah,
this is a witch hunt.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, somebody will know.
You're never gonna know. You're not meant to know.
How will they know?
You're not.
That's a new one.
It doesn't exist. It's brand new technology. As
I
far as we
know. I've felt this before. Gosh, it's just something where like when I see that picture there,
You can feel it in your hands.
I can. Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I can just. I know I've held that before.
I
Probably
feel
like
very
it's
similar.
probably
way.
like some prototype we got sent to us, like one of those gateway ones, something like that.
Possibly.
I don't
know.
think so. Ooh.
I don't think we had it.
I don't
I'm
think
just
so.
looking at that disc and I can feel it in my hands. Like I know I've felt this before.
I am right there with you.
I
We're
guess.
on the
Wait a
same
second.
wavelength.
Technically, a bead is like a rounded bottom.
Similar, but it increases drag because there's an extra spot for air to get trapped.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, there you go. Loft discs breaking on. You know, good for them for like trying to innovate, but like,
Hunter, dude, you hate them.
I just don't like Kickstarter for a second. Like the first disc, I didn't like it
somebody
because
in the comment section is going to school you
Go
a
for
little
it.
bit on
That's fine.
business, man.
do it. That's fine. I don't care. I don't mind it. The first disc, I didn't like the idea of
Doesn't
like
mind it. He
we're
does
marketing
not
it as a
mind it.
1-speed disc and like that's
Hunter
existed for
Thomas,
years.
I do not mind this.
But like as a Kickstarter, that's fine. Like I fully understood that being backed. This one, I'm like, you're an established company now. Like I just also know if we went out and did a Kickstarter for anything right now, we'd get flamed.
But there you go again, because we're a lot like more established, like way more established than Hydrogen Loft or Hydrogen or whatever they are.
Just we've been around like a year, like literally a year and a half longer.
Yeah, we have a massive. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, you got like, it's kind of unprecedented a little bit.
I don't like it.
I don't think it's that big of a deal.
All right.
Just let people spend their money, man. What the
No,
heck?
people can.
Not according to you.
No, people can spend
Uncle
their money on
Sam?
whatever they want, and I can get upset about whatever I want.
That's true.
And here we are.
I really wanted to transition the same way that you had transitioned before this, but I did not have the guts to do it.
Oh,
You just gotta go for it, man.
What gets you?
All right. What's the next? What we got next?
All right, this is
Get us off
actually
with the Kickstarters.
this is the first time I've ever done this.
This is gonna be
I
rough.
have
okay.
I have a game for Konner and Trevor to play,
Oh.
and I might pitch in here some too.
It's not really a game as much as it is like a
It's just a fun little
This
segment.
is a fun
Is it a
thing.
fun little segment,
It's a
or
fun
did you
little
guys
segment.
choreograph something beforehand
No,
and you're
no,
coming
no.
after me right now?
This did
'Cause
happen
this
while
feels
you were
a lot like you're setting it up.
This
I
did happen
promise
while
we
you were
did.
out of town. This
We
idea
had an
came
idea.
about. I don't know if you listened to last week's Grip
It's not
Locked.
even much
No,
of
I
a
didn't.
game. You'll
So
hear it,
essentially,
like-
basically, last week's Grip Locked, we found out that Matteo was going to West Side.
Okay.
That's what we were talking about.
That's
and
exciting.
we were both like, that just makes sense. Matteo and West Side, like it feels like he belongs there. It feels like
I
he's
agree.
at home. So then we were thinking like, that's an interesting idea. Like when I like almost word association. Like when I name a player, don't think of the company they're with or always have been with, but like think of their vibe.
Well, you
and,
can
like,
though.
You
if
can.
if that's where if they are.
But
I
just think
match
of
up.
like their personality, their style, their vibe, and just like where's their home?
I think it
All
would be
right, I
fun.
like this
company
game.
is
I
their
think
home.
it would be
I
fun
really
if
like this
Connor and
game.
I name them at the same time to see if we match up.
Okay,
on them.
so I'm gonna just give you a name, and
there's
I'll give
no-
you some time so you can lock in your
Thank
answer,
you.
and then I'll count in 3, 2, 1. and
We
you
all
say.
know that I don't function very well under
Yeah.
tight time
No,
scrutiny.
I'll let you think. So the first one I have pulled up is Calvin Heimberg. Where's his home?
You just gave us one of like the blandest
Yeah.
like pieces.
Well, I
of
wanted to start it off
dry
smooth. I wanted to
bread.
start it off smooth and just kind of ease it in.
Calvin Heimberg.
What feels like home?
There's no wrong answer here.
I mean,
Just like if Calvin
Okay.
Heimberg were to announce, "I'm here," you'd be
Yeah.
like, "That makes a lot of sense."
Okay, I've got my
announce.
answer.
Well, not that he's moving.
Okay.
Like it could be Innova still.
I've got my answer.
He's got his answer.
I've got my answer. I've got
All
my
right,
answer.
3, 2, 1.
Prodigy.
Innova.
You're sticking with Innova?
Yeah, because I just don't see Calvin Heimberg as a risk taker or somebody who likes to change everything up. And I think what he's been throwing his whole life. And I don't really see him wanting to find a replacement for
Now,
his discs.
I'm interested in Prodigy. Why'd you say Prodigy?
Because I said the words like I feel like Prodigy is a very generic brand. Not in the sense that like all of their like logos and discs and everything is like very much coordinated, and like they have like the H1, H2, H3, like everything is very stock and generic about it. And I just feel like Calvin Heimberg is a kind of a robot, like that's his thing, like, and so he'd fit right in with Dickerson as like the two robots.
See,
But I don't
for some
think
reason
that-
the first thing that came to my mind was dynamic.
That was my other thing. I was
'Cause I
also going to
almost-
I
say
think dynamic
dynamic.
is just super fresh in her mind right now. 'Cause
I
that popped into my head too.
because
and
I
was like, that doesn't
associate
really make
him.
sense.
I associate him almost like a Zach Melton type character, where because like the more you give Calvin Heimberg a chance to like be behind the scenes with him,
Yeah, he's a goofy dude.
he's a goofy dude, and just like
He's
so
not
I
on
could,
the course though.
Not he's all business when he's playing.
Right. That's why.
But I could see like what was it like Joe Mezer Innova stamp that was like pizza delivery and it was like Calvin
that was
Heimberg with a
amazing.
slice.
I want that. If somebody has that, I'll buy it off you.
Like that, there's kind of like that vibe when I think of Calvin Heimberg. For some reason, like if he were to go dynamic, I'd be like, yeah.
That was going to be my other thing. I had to try to decide between Innova and Dynamic. I know we talked about him possibly going to Dynamic
Yeah.
like earlier, like on the show a couple episodes
Yeah.
ago, and that makes sense in my head. I'm not really sure why. It just does, but I just don't see him as somebody who enjoys going through and looking for the perfect disc. I think that he likes to just have a stack
That's
of
all-
discs
yeah.
that are all perfect.
Innova's definitely one that fits him. That's for
Yes.
sure. All right, second player, Mr. Kevin Jones.
Kevin Jones.
Where's his home? Where does he live? Where should he live?
I got an answer.
Well, you know, this is. Okay, I got mine
All
too.
right, ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Innova.
Innova.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
I think I see it too. Well, my original thought was like, well, he throws everything on Heiser, so Prodigy's kind of a good fit.
But if you go back in the day when he was sponsored by Prodiscus, he was crushing destroyers.
yes,
His
So-
first few times he popped
right.
off at USDGC.
So I thought about that, and I just think Kevin Jones is a guy that would work with Innova, because Innova, I think, likes players that pull their own weight marketing wise, like a Germ and Sexton, who kind of do the work for them, which isn't really a good thing, but I think they like that. So I think he would fit in well with there because he's so likable that like he just kind of Kevin Jones would make a lot of sense, I think, with Innova. I can just see it.
All right, here's another one.
I feel the same way. I
Yeah.
feel the same way.
Yeah.
And also,
It
he's a
does make
very
sense.
good flip up mid thrower, and I think
Oh,
Innova
yeah.
has
Oh,
incredible
heck yeah.
flip up mids.
Heck yeah.
The thing that would be
threes
tough
just all over the
is,
place.
well, I guess he isn't really known for his putter throwing with Prodigy anymore. Because like his jokery was like, that's what he was known for. He would throw that jokery so freaking
That's
far.
true. What does Innova have throwing putter wise anymore? Because they used to be the P2.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess the Firefly.
The
is
Firefly,
a P2.
the AVR,
The Firefly,
Nova.
The Firefly is a P2.
Put a Nova in Kevin Jones' hand.
Kevin Jones, that would be awesome.
Kevin Jones could throw a Nova.
I can
like,
see that.
So cool.
Kevin Jones could throw a Nova like 500 feet. I'm such
Probably.
an Innova simp. I freaking love Innova so much. I don't know
hate
why.
so many things about the things they choose to be, but I love their discs. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just what you got into the sport throwing. You just
Yeah.
love. All right. We're going to flip it over to FPO for a player or two and then back and forth for the last few. Sarah Hokum.
Okay.
I thought she was a pretty good one.
Currently with MVP.
She's currently with MVP. She's been with Prodigy. She's been with Legacy. That's kind of what I like about some players is like ones that have bounced around where like you can see them with a bunch of companies. Like where do they fit the most?
That is true.
Because like Sarah Hokum, like
Okay.
Where
I'm
is she?
going
I have
off
my
it.
answer.
Okay, I do too.
all right, ready? 3,
Yeah.
2, 1.
Discraft.
Prodigy.
Oh.
I don't know why. Here's what I think that Sarah Hokum is like a very just like kind of like consistent bread and butter player. Like she kind of
is true.
She's kind of just like a very steady player. So I think for some reason Discraft I think being kind of like the leader right now is kind of it's just kind of made sense.
Now,
for
here's
me in my
something
head.
weird.
And she got I don't know Discraft and Sarah Hokum just kind of in my head.
I
meshed
agree.
together.
I thought about that.
Was Sarah Hokum ever with Discraft?
Yes,
Yeah, way back.
I think so.
For some, I think she was too. For some reason, though,
Maybe not.
I just don't associate forehand players in Discraft.
I don't know why.
I don't
Because
either.
The Force is an amazing forehand disc.
But they're
I
not.
just like
I mean,
name
they
a
don't-
like forehand dominant player that plays for Discraft.
It's true.
Well,
I'm
name
sure
a
there's
dominant
one.
player that's played for Discraft. Paul. So like they had
No, not a dominant player, a forehand
a
dominant
forehand.
player.
Marweed.
He plays for Discraft because he plays for Innova.
I thought Marweed was a Discraft. Oh, who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of. Shoot.
this is really
Continue
embarrassing
talking.
for you,
Continue.
Trevor.
Yeah. talking.
Well, I mean, when I think forehand dominance, I think like I've seen Prodigy, Discmania, Innova, or like the three in my head.
Why did I think Marweed was on their team?
Because like Big Germ, Andrew Marweed, Nate Sexton, Eagle
No,
McMahon.
I see what you're saying. Primary forehand guys.
Yeah, like I can't think of one on Discraft.
Yeah.
Big Germ back in the day was on Discraft. He was throwing meteors like a freaking mug.
What? 4 for
Really?
4.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
There's a video
Yeah.
online of him just throwing touchy meteor forehands. It was crazy.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna go off of me being delusional.
So
for that one.
why did you
Oh,
say?
I was thinking of Presnell. I think.
I said
doesn't throw
Prodigy.
he doesn't. Presnell doesn't even throw forehands.
I know. I confuse their two likenesses and then their abilities as well.
That makes sense to me, Trevor. I don't think that you're dumb.
I never
Whatever.
said that. All right,
I'm
why
still
Prodigy?
sticking
I
with my
said
answer.
Prodigy strictly because I just
believe she was with
remember
Prodigy
her
as well.
Yeah,
She was.
I just remember her playing for Prodigy, and that just like made so much sense in my head, and it felt comfortable.
Yeah,
But
no,
I think the MVP is good for her though.
no
I think-
MVP's good.
Whenever
I
I'm
almost
thinking
just
about
said
these, I'm
MVP
purely
'cause-
thinking about the gear, the discs, like
Yeah,
just
that's
like
the vibe.
what does it feel good?
It's
Not
the vibes,
company
man.
like company contracts or anything.
No,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
the vibe. That's
Yeah.
all we're going off of
I can
here.
see, yeah, but
All
I,
right.
yeah,
We're flipping it back.
yeah.
Mr. James Conrad,
Mr. James G. Conrad.
the face of MVP right
I got
now.
a 1 in 26 chance that middle name
right.
initial is correct.
You ready?
Go on.
Oh,
I thought I was
I wasn't
ready.
even thinking yet. I just blanked. James Conrad.
I know what I'd say.
Okay,
I'm not ready yet.
I've got mine.
All right, I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Discmania.
Gateway.
Really? Oh, Gateway.
Yeah,
I could feel that. I was just going Innova.
that was another.
Innova just like I think it's because he threw it for so long. Innova just feels home.
I want to
I
be a
was-
little bit more
Gateway
interesting.
with how much he throws putters. I think it'd be. I
I was
throw
thinking the
Gateway
vibe. I
putters,
was
though?
thinking the Gateway vibe is very laid back and
Yeah.
like we're just having a good time. And James Conner is very much a laid back. I'm having a good time.
I was picking
kind of player.
Discmania based on which company, like a company that I think has awesome throwing putters.
Well,
That
the
makes
thing.
sense.
So the issue with Discmania is I don't feel like James Conrad fits the Discmania vibe.
I don't think
Of like the Crush Boys, like everyone that plays for Discmania just kind of has this look.
I think.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way though. I think he could fit the vibe.
Nah, they already got a long hair guy. Nate Perkins already fills it.
No, Nate
Can't have
Perkins
two.
doesn't do anything for Discmania.
You can't fill. Ooh,
And Nate
hot
Perkins' hair goes up, not down.
Yeah, exactly.
you can't
Nate
have
Perkins is
two-
not the long hair guy.
You can't have two
James
long hair
Conrad.
guys on a
If James
team.
Conrad goes in there, he is the long hair guy. It's Nate Perkins who has to go.
Oh, I'm just saying.
So that doesn't change my answer.
No, Innova feels right to me. But
I think
Innova
right.
and Gateway, I think, are my two favorites.
Innova feels comfortable, but I liked the vibe of Gateway.
Gateway's good.
It made sense to me.
All
But also, I think MVP fits as well.
We're gonna flip
I
it.
love James Conrad to MVP is like my favorite mashup right now.
Yeah, it's fun.
I ship them.
Okay, I love that.
We're gonna flip back to FPO with a little Konner Panis.
That one's easy. I'm already.
No, Trevor's just locked in.
It's a very no-brainer for me.
Oh,
Really?
wow.
You're okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's not.
He's mad at
Go
you.
ahead.
It felt like he was mad at me.
No. I'm just saying, like, it's not like
You've disappointed.
it's not
him.
no-brainer. Like, it's some crazy thought or anything.
All right, I'm ready.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Innova.
Discraft. She looks Discraft to me.
I just think, for me with Konner, it is impossible to move away from Innova because nobody reps their brand harder on social media than
That is
Konner.
true.
She is constantly wearing and pushing Innova so hard.
She's in a lot of
she's
Innova
like
videos.
ingrained in Innova. Doesn't her dad work for them or something?
Her dad's their marketing director.
Right. So like
I'm
she
pretty
is
sure.
so
That makes
far
sense.
into Innova that like I just couldn't even picture it because she is Innova.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. I think I don't really even have a good reason. I just think she looks Discraft.
That's the whole point of
She
this game.
looks new Discraft. Like
That's the whole point of this
Discraft
game.
since Paul.
All right. We got 3 more.
My goodness.
Sorry, is this too long? Pause. Okay. Chris Dickerson.
I have my answer.
Yeah, me too.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Innova.
West. Oh wow, West Side. So I was gonna say.
West Side.
Yeah.
See, the West Side vibe, I feel like is like the Matteo Nico vibe, and I don't think Chris fits that.
I don't know.
You said Innova?
Yeah, I think it feels Innova. I think
Interesting.
Innova. I think that Chris Dickerson feels like a back in the day player that's still competing now. That's like still like
I
really
can see it.
really high up there, and that screams Innova to me.
I can see it. For some reason, Chris Dickerson, when I wrote his name, just screamed DD to me.
I
His
could see
play
that.
style, just like
I think he looks like his face looks a little DD. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
right. Like he just feels like
Heck yeah, man.
Like,
Well, him
for
and
some
Emac
reason-
have the beard going.
for some reason like
He's like
just,
kind of scruffy.
he
Yeah.
feels dynamic this to me. Like if I saw double D's on his back, I'd be like, yeah, it makes sense.
I think that makes sense.
Makes sense.
All right, 2 more. Missy Gannon.
Missy Gannon.
Missy Gannon. Where's she fit?
I have my answer.
Okay, yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Prodigy.
Discraft was what I was trying to say.
Okay, yeah.
I just can't see anything. but
She's
her
very
name.
synonymous with Discraft for me.
Just because the Undertaker, I can't see anything. but that.
I think if anywhere, I guess Prodigy, but it was kind of just like a side
She
thought.
came from DD, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, Discraft though probably makes the most sense.
All right, final one here. You know it was coming. Paul Macbeth. Where's his home?
See, Paul is an interesting one.
Where's Paul's home?
I have my answer.
Yeah, me too.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Discraft.
Innova.
See, here's my reasoning.
on, Konner.
Here's my reasoning.
No, that I think
My
that's good
reasoning-
reason. There's not a wrong answer.
Yeah, my reasoning is because when he was at Innova, he didn't really fit in with the Innova culture. Now, he did change it, but the Innova culture has always been throw the old stuff, like throw the CE stuff, like that's the Innova culture. And he changed that. And when he went to Discraft, they already were on board with doing like
Very good point.
with his culture. So I think he actually fits in with Discraft more. I think he's more synonymous with Innova.
Yeah.
He probably won't be 10 years from now, but he is right now more synonymous with Innova. But I don't think he ever really fit the Innova culture. He just happened to play
me, it's probably just because of how long he played there. I still sometimes like forget he's with Discraft.
there. I
was like-
certainly don't.
Like I'll see him at Discraft video. I'm like, what the frick? This doesn't feel right. But I think what you're saying is somewhat true because like before Paul, like people didn't throw the new Innova molds. Like it was just T-Birds, Destroyers, and Rocks.
Right.
And then Paul's like, oh,
He changed the
Rock
culture.
3, Thunderbird, Crate.
He was doing something nobody else was
Nova.
doing there.
But
he
that's
did-
the Innova
he
I got
did-
introduced to was the new Innova.
Right.
So to me, that is Innova in my head.
Listen, man, when I started throwing Innova, they didn't have Paul's
But
name on any discs.
Discraft, but you also have to realize when Paul came to Discraft, he fully changed everything about Discraft.
I'm just saying they were on board. Everybody was
That
on
is
board
true.
with that right away. Like,
Well, that's
that
because
was, like, the
Discraft
whole
didn't really
plan.
have a like you threw the buzz.
It's all. Listen, that's all. That's
You
all.
threw the buzz, and you might have putted with challengers.
I said what I said.
People sometimes do the Zoom.
I think the reason why I think that's really good reasoning. And I say, like, as far as what feels more like home company wise, I think that Discraft, because they're so supportive of him and they want him to do so many new things and stuff like that. But whenever I think about Paul, he's got. I
just see him with Innova.
He's got those McPro AVRs in his hand.
Like when
and
if
and
Paul
he's
went
walking
to,
up and I can
I
see
think I
his
just move on
hands
quicker.
on.
It's like I just don't even-
yeah.
Okay.
No,
yeah,
you're right.
You're right.
I hate myself.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I was saying I don't.
No, yeah, you're
visualize that
better. I
anymore.
get it. Yeah, that's.
I'm
right.
just
I
saying
understand
if
that.
I saw Paul.
Yeah, but I think of Paul. I think of the Lunar right away.
Really?
He invented the putter.
I forget the Luna even exists because it's Roach.
No, you don't. You're just saying that to sound cool. Like
No, I
know things about disc golf.
I still think like if I think Paul, I'm still thinking Nova.
That's fair.
It's not even what comes to my mind first because it's very comfortable for him to be at Discraft. What it is for me is that like whenever I think about him holding a XT Nova versus holding whatever he's got in his bag now, I feel warmer whenever and I feel
Like,
the Christmas warmth
Getting
whenever I see
borderline
that.
weird now.
If he announced tomorrow he was going back to Innova, I'd just be like, okay.
I wouldn't.
Makes sense.
That wouldn't make sense to me. Just because
Then
of
why'd
Innova.
you pick Innova?
Well, I mean, literally.
No, we're not
based off
thinking-
of
we're not
holding
thinking,
the
like-
frisbees.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're not talking of like, yeah, I agree, company wise,
Okay,
contract
gotcha.
wise, all of that. Discraft makes way more sense. I'm just saying like my gut feeling.
It's
of,
all
like,
about nostalgia.
Yeah, if I saw it, I'd be like, yeah.
It's all
There we
nostalgia,
go.
and we like Trevor's just better than us, so he doesn't have nostalgia.
Yeah, Trevor
so,
gets
like,
to move on and
I'm
doesn't
a
have
very
to.
nostalgic person.
You're probably gonna freaking be able to look at your baby pictures a year down the road and not even cry.
Probably.
Jerk.
his own baby pictures.
No,
Yeah,
his baby's pictures. My dad, it was like a rule in our house. If we were gonna pull out a photo album, you needed to let him know so he wouldn't be in the room.
That's so funny.
He couldn't do it.
That is hilarious.
My sister,
Your dad.
I
love your dad.
love looking at photo albums. I don't get emotional.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I get emotional looking at photo albums. That's what I was saying.
I get
emotional.
okay, I feel
If
emotion.
you get
I just
emotional-
am not going to cry.
Oh no, I'm not gonna cry. But if you,
Okay.
if,
Oh yeah, you're not gonna cry.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm like
You're
smile-
already
I'll
crying.
cry.
I know.
I'll cry.
I'll smile and laugh about them. Like, oh my gosh, like these pictures are so great. I'm not
If,
going to be
okay,
like,
here's
tearing
what it
up.
will be. If photo albums, looking at old
heck?
photo albums, make you sad, you think Paul belongs at Innova. If you're like Trevor and
Wait,
you don't
looking
have
at old
emotions,
photo albums don't make me sad.
it makes me sad. Like you missed the good old days.
No, it makes me.
I am
happy.
in living
Like,
in the good old days. Like what?
Well, yeah, but
The
then
good
like
new
10
days,
years
the
from now,
good
you'll look and be
current
like,
days.
oh man, remember when we just like would
Don't
shoot a
you
podcast
wish-
on Wednesdays? That was so fun.
Don't you wish that you knew they were the good old
Oh my
days where the
gosh.
good old days were
Yeah.
happening?
Do you watch The Office?
No, I've never seen it.
Okay.
It
My
just came to me.
my sister sent. Oh no, that's the wrong group message. My sister sent.
So freaking popular.
No, it's just all family. Yesterday,
Oh,
she said, want to see something want to see something sad 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and sent pictures of my 1-year-old niece.
You bawled
at
your
Christmas.
eyes out.
No, I didn't. And then she goes, and my dad responded and said, "You just lost 2 gifts." And then Heather sent another one, goes, and here's 3 years ago, and then sent a picture of like my niece when she was like a month old. And then my dad goes, "Now 3 gifts." My dad didn't even
That is
respond anything else. He's just like,
so-
I'm
That's
taking
really
I'm taking
funny.
gifts away.
That's really funny.
Like it was just a known rule in our house.
a known rule. Don't
And my
do it.
sister's goal every Christmas is to get both of my parents to cry.
That's hilarious.
That's like her
like that.
Christmas goal is she buys them a gift to try to make them cry.
That's really funny.
And she's successful 9 times out of 10. All right, let's wrap up the
That
show
10th one,
here.
though.
That 10th one. Man, they're-
Sucks.
that's when they just like turn their Trevor robot no emotions on and
Yeah.
just don't cry. All right, let's wrap the show up with a fan favorite segment that's probably
Probably
more
fan
fan favorite than Trevor's trivia, for being honest.
Gosh dang.
No, I'm just kidding, man. People love you. In the bag.
I was a little bit nervous that we weren't going to do this segment. We were
No.
waiting so long to do it.
Well, we didn't do it
Saved the best
last
for
week
last,
because
man.
you were gone.
Yeah.
We didn't want to do that.
People
I
are
was
just-
expecting you guys to do
People
that.
were just
That's
scratching
nice.
and clawing for us to bring
Yeah,
it back.
you're
so.
back. You're back. There was not a single comment saying where the frick's in the back. Kind of hurt my feelings. Connor's up 2. I have 1. Trevor has 1. That's the current standings. Remember, there is a lot on the line here. The loser has to make dinner and serve it to the winning couple.
Yes.
So okay. So if
The
I
winning-
lost,
the winning person and their wife.
If I lost, I'll have to bake and serve Connor and his wife dinner. And the middle person just doesn't have to do either. So in the bag this week is you're not a pro win. And Trevor won last, so you get to decide the order.
Oh wow.
You know you're not a pro win.
Okay.
What's the order?
I think it's going to be
I only wrote down 5, so if one of y'all steal 2 of mine, I'm screwed.
The order is going to be Hunter, then me, then Konner.
All right.
Hunter, then me, then Konner.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to do... We talked about this one, so I'm just going to go ahead and take it because someone's going to take it.
Yeah.
You know you're not a pro when you have a single color bag or a color-coordinated bag. Color-coordinated bag is what I wrote down, but that seems more like you're coordinating by colors.
I wrote color-coordinated bag. I think
that's
both
fine.
of
You
them.
can say
I would say.
color-coordinated
I mean, I think both is.
Well, I'm trying to be very careful about what I'm saying.
I'm just saying. I think if color coordinated just means in some way you're coordinating your bag by color, and I don't think it's a very pro thing.
You did
Okay, color-coordinated bag.
Okay,
Like
that's what I wrote down.
Cool.
On the paper.
Cool.
I just changed it last second to say single color. I'm terrified.
I am not gonna even try to come after anybody right now because I'm too scared of the argument it's gonna turn into.
That's a good one. That was definitely just sitting there.
Good job.
For sure.
Good job, Hunter.
My first one is you're not a pro when you tell people how far you throw.
That's a good one.
It is a great one.
That's a good one. All right. Now I get to choose 2, correct?
Yes.
My first one. Let me choose which one. Okay. You're not a pro when you play music out loud during the round.
Okay. That's not bad.
I've spent many weeklies where I'm on a card with people who do that. Okay. And then another one. You're not a pro when you throw a tilt.
Dang it.
Oh, dang.
I had
Does Simon not have a tilt in his bag?
I had throw a tilt.
I actually don't know the answer to that.
I had throw a tilt unironically in mine as well. That was my next pick. Dang it. That's a good one.
Thank you.
Okay, my next one.
It's very calm right now. It's kind of making me feel uncomfortable.
Eagle definitely threw a tilt to
that-
win a
and
pro
Eagle
tour.
definitely has told people how far he throws. Are we looking at him technically?
Like, do you want us to scrutinize? And somebody
just
probably
saying.
color coordinates their bag as a pro.
I'm just saying.
There literally are pro disc golfers who color coordinate their bags.
How about you calm
now
down?
you can step down. All right.
Okay, jeez.
I don't think it's a type of list to scrutinize like
Frick
that.
you guys, all right?
You started
I'm just
it.
saying.
You started
Well,
it.
we were
did
just like, we
start
were all
it.
sitting here like, oh yeah, no pros through the tilt. I'm like, no, wait.
It's
Eagle
a
literally
funny-
won a
it-
tournament throwing it upside down.
It's a very I think this is more like stereotypes
Yes. Yeah.
more than anything.
Wait, how did you say it? Just throw a tilt?
You throw a tilt.
When you throw a tilt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, my next one
Because
is
it's a useless disc.
my next one. You're not a pro when you carry a disc retriever.
Oh.
You don't usually see a Palma Beth trucking around the course with a golden retriever.
I just want
there.
to start so many arguments right now.
You're like, oh, so you never seen?
I've never seen Brody not carry a disc
You're
retriever.
right.
Is Brody a pro?
Yes.
Jinx. I was just going to ask before the comments could. All right. You're not a pro. So I get 2 now, right?
Yes.
Oh, man. Which ones do I want to go for?
All my other ones suck. They're not good.
Man, I think there's one on this list that I don't think either of y'all are going to say, so I'm going to just save it for last.
Okay.
So I'm going to just get the other ones out. You're not a pro when you wear the printed polos from manufacturers. I'm mainly thinking the dynamic disc, blue, white, and whatever. If someone shows up and they're wearing that, first thought, oh, wow, they may be sponsored. Then it's quickly with, nope, they're a rec player.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good.
To counter
the
my own
hard-
point, I've seen 1 or 2 Team DD pros wear those polos,
one
but
are you
they were
talking
teeing
about?
off at like 8 a.m.
You're talking about like the fully
I don't
printed
really
ones?
because what you said was
Like the printed polos from manufacturers.
yeah. So just a polo with the manufacturer's name on it.
No,
printed on
the
it?
printed, like the sublimated.
Oh, it's like the full print.
The full
ones.
print, yeah.
Okay.
The printed
yeah.
polos.
I was confused. 'cause
Not just like a logo polo.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
You were
Everyone
saying.
wears that. No, the
And I was
full
like,
printed
full-on
polos.
I
printed
get
one.
it, but also literally every pro wears that.
No, the like full.
Yeah,
I understand now.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
I understand.
Have I ever seen that? Maybe once or twice.
But I've seen. I mean, every time I show up to.
I believe you though.
Every time I show up to a C tier, or anything like that, like.
I believe you, and if I saw that,
Because that's a game we used to play. I forget who I played it with, but there was like 3 or 4 of us that we would play rec or pro. Because like the 2 people that would show up in polos to a C tier basically were either the like pro that had chance at winning or a rec player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so before they threw, you just had to watch him walk up with like back because they both had grip bags, they both had like everything. You just had to say, is that a rec or a pro player? And one of the biggest telltale signs was the printed polos meant rec player.
There you go.
There you go.
Got it.
And then the second one I'm going to take is you switch the molds in your bag constantly.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good one. I like that.
That is true. That is true.
My next one I'm going to take, is you know you're not a pro when you only throw overstable discs.
That's a good one.
Okay.
I feel like typically AM players have the obsession with the overstable stuff.
Yeah, pros are willing to just throw the hyzer flip out there.
Right. You got to be willing to throw the hyzer flips.
Prefer just throwing hyzer.
Pros have less stable stuff in their bag than you think they would.
Yeah.
It's actually crazy because they're just good at throwing things.
Well,
on
also
angles.
because like you only need one overstable driver.
Right. They understand that.
Need,
I don't understand that. I've got like 5 right now.
Yeah. And you need
It's
like
mostly like
3
me
that
just
are
looking
beat
in the
different
mirror and be
stages.
like, what do you do, Trevor? And why is it stupid? And why are you not a pro? That's like all this list
That's
is.
what I was doing too.
Yeah, same.
Go ahead, Connor.
All right, so
You get your
I
last.
get another 2.
You get your last
My
2.
last 2. All right. You know you're not a pro when you throw a 360 in a round.
Nice. Great one.
Never. Yeah,
That was great.
it's good. Yeah, not much that needs to be said about that. And then I'm gonna have to just bite the bullet here, and say something hurtful.
Okay.
You know you're not a pro whenever you throw trilogy.
Oh, frick. The funniest part of that is that there's so many pros that throw trilogy.
That is ruthless.
I know, but
It's a little harder though. That
you could have
It's
went.
a little harder when Ricky won 2 world titles throwing trilogy.
If you would have went MVP,
I just
Might have
but
been.
James Conner. But you
That's
think
true.
about
James
I
Conrad
think
is
about
too
who's
fresh.
on there right now. James
It's too
Conner is
fresh.
on MVP right now.
He just won a world
But
title.
who is
That's
who is
true.
on
The
DD? Who
MVP
is, like,
MVP
You
would
didn't
have been
say
the
DD though.
answer.
You said
I just said
trilogy.
but who? Yeah, I stick by it.
Because DD
Like,
doesn't have a world title.
Who is on?
Nor
Yeah,
does
sorry.
West-
Sorry.
Dang,
That one. That one is.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
There's
I don't.
a lot
Send
of
the
that
people
one's
dogs
gonna-
on Connor.
That one's gonna lose me. That's gonna lose me this round. But I
might win
I'm
it
okay.
for you.
It might
though.
win it.
It might.
Yeah, there's enough trilogy.
You're gonna be
there's
very
enough
much-
There's
trilogy
a lot of
haters.
trilogy boys out there.
No, there's
that are
enough
gonna hate
trilogy
on me.
haters out there
Okay.
that are like, why the frick do you throw that crap?
We're gonna learn something.
I
about our
love
audience.
trilogy. FYI.
I don't
The
really.
pure-
I don't have a
Trilogy.
problem with trilogy discs.
I was just
but
saying.
for some
I just
reason
called
they
it.
can't.
I called it crap. But
they
the
can't.
Pures might be the greatest throwing putter on the market.
They just can't keep people on there.
That's fair. I mean,
That's
that's fair.
Continue.
That's pretty fair. Okay. All right.
Tank.
Whew, just gotta like settle down now.
I didn't know it was gonna be this kind of show.
My last one is you know you're not a pro when you've Googled how to gain more distance. I think that's like the most common thing we've all done at some point is like
Yeah.
just Google how to gain more distance.
Yeah. Or you
We're
feel
all
very
searching for
tempted
it.
to click on the videos that says
Easy
how to-
distance,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Or buy a disc that says easy distance, effortless glide.
Effortless distance. All right,
Man,
Hunter,
I got.
back to you for
I've
your
got
last.
2 more. I'm trying to
You got 2
decide
more
which one's
picks.
better.
2 more on your list to pick from.
I know I'm only choosing one,
Yeah.
but I've got 2 that I got to decide. Because one is like 100% true, but I don't know how relatable it is, and the other one's like
Shoot for the stars, man.
no one does it. So I'm gonna just go with the true one. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna just be the true list.
Okay.
You know you're not a pro when you write your phone number on your discs.
That's actually a great
Yeah,
one.
that is true.
That is a great
Because,
one.
like,
Pros don't write their phone number.
No,
on the
because
disc.
if you pick
Right.
up Paul's disc,
That's
you're
not
not gonna get his phone
signature
number.
That's
on
not
it.
even coming after everybody. That is just a true statement.
That's what I'm saying.
is-
Like that's
that-
not a relatable one. That's just
But it's true.
I think that's
It's a good
honestly
one.
one of the better picks. That's a very good one.
Yeah. No, my feelings aren't even hurt.
No.
I could have even put PDGA number, but you know you're not a pro when you know your PDGA number. That'd have been a funny one. But no, write your phone number on your discs.
Looking at those 3 lists, I feel like they're very balanced.
Yeah.
I'm really not sure. Like even on paper, there, I'm not sure who's going to win this
I think
one.
the only thing that could either hurt or help Konner is the trilogy.
The trilogy one is going to be Connor's make
Yeah,
or break. He
yeah.
either gets smoked or he wins by a lot.
Yeah, Connor's either gonna absolutely crush us or he's just gonna be like 5% of the vote.
Good list though.
Yeah.
I wanted
Good
to
topics.
say some things like you know you're not a pro whenever you aren't named Brody Smith but still throw a scooper. I thought that.
That is
That
so
would've been a great
funny.
one.
But it was just too long though. Like I just didn't know how to fit it in the box.
It would. You should. That's
would've
the,
won with
literally
that
would have
one.
been the
That's
best
okay. It's
one
worth
on the
it's
list.
worth it for me just to
Dang.
be able to say it out loud. It
I
is way
had,
funnier whenever I say it out loud.
had
than
one
when
written down.
I never even thought of that.
I had one written down that I didn't say because I like Daniel Lindahl, but I had you know you're not a pro when you watch Daniel Lindahl.
You know, literally when you said Googled how to get,
I love Daniel
when you
Lindahl, so I would
said-
never do that
when
to
you
him.
said Googled how to get more distance.
I would never do that to him, even though I just did.
No, it's not on the tweet though.
when you said Googled how to get more distance, the first thing that came to my mind is I was like, oh shoot, I could just say when you watch overthrow. Because like what I was thinking is just like when you watch a forum channel, same thing as Danny
Somebody
Lindahl. But then
commented-
the reason I didn't say it is I was like the same thing. I was like, I don't want to like make seem like I'm coming after them.
Yeah, because you're
Somebody
not.
commented that they need a collab with Overthrow teaching me how to throw.
I thought about that. I thought it'd be like a funny series.
I can't do that.
It could be like a part of our break series. Like if one of us doesn't break whatever.
I already did.
You already did. But like if me, Connor, Brody, or Silas, you have to go get your form reviewed by like Josh has to give you a form. Like form.
I like that. Yes, I think that's fun.
Because like all of us, or at least me, like I've played disc golf with Josh so many times. And like back in when we were playing a lot together, like we were neck and neck. And like so I'd beat him, he'd beat me. So for me to have to walk up to him and be like, hey man, I need you to critique my form.
Yeah, that would
just hurt my pride.
That would be very
is what
funny.
It would be. Like he'd be great at it. He would probably actually fix my form, but like I'd have to swallow a lot of pride to walk up and do that.
That is so funny. That's hilarious.
Yeah, so that's why it would feel like a punishment when realistically it'd probably be very helpful for me.
So make sure to go vote on our In the Bags on Twitter,
on
the
Twitter.
Grip Block account. Also, give us suggestions for what you think we should be doing for our In the Bag segments, and we will take them if you have good suggestions.
We need them.
We're always looking for new topics to do. So far, I think we've had some good ones.
This prompt is a deviant like from a suggestion that I got through a DM.
There you go.
So it's we just changed it just a little bit, but.
Awesome.
Very
All
nice.
right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're about to shoot the Bogey Bro banter. If you haven't, or Bogey Bros banter. If you haven't listened to that yet, it's free on all the platforms as well, just like this one is. But it's where we kind of go off the rails a little bit. We don't talk about disc golf stuff. We just kind of talk about whatever's going on. I'm about to fill Trevor in on a bet that Brody and I made on debate night, and how I need his help. So if you want to hear that and hear more just random stories and stuff, be sure to check that out. You can also check out, we have a weekly Q&A podcast on Patreon. Our Patreon, it's patreon.com/Foundation Disc Golf. And we take comments and questions from there and answer them on, it's called the Foundation Mailbag. And that's exclusive to Patreons only. You can find out more information in the link in the description below. And other than that, we'll talk to you all next week.
All right.